On to our next speaker from our gold sponsor, KNX. So Jose Marcelo is responsible for the KNX International Association for the development of KNX in the USA. With more than 18 years of experience with the KNX technology, he has contributed to the development of the worldwide standard in Latin America, Europe, and Asia, and has trained more than 1,000 students on KNX. He holds a degree in telecommunications engineering from the Polytechnic University at Valencia and received his MBA from IESE Business School in Barcelona, Spain. Jose is secretary of KNX USA National Group, the regional representation of KNX in the United States. Today, Jose helps people and companies worldwide to develop new business around KNX technology. Personally enjoys small things in life. He likes to travel the world, exploring different cultures and beauty of the world. Jose, take it away.
So hello to everybody. And first of all, I'd like to ask you something to all the attendees here today. How many of you have heard about KNX? Raise your hand. Perfect. And another question is, how many of you have already worked with KNX, have already make some project or some develop some devices, something like this? Go in details. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, not many. Okay, so thank you very much for attending this session today. My name is Jose. Thank you very much for the introduction as well. And today I'm going to show you the next steps that we are going to take for KNX in the upcoming years and what we can do with Thread as well. Okay. So let me show you the agenda for today. I'm going to show you the KNX IoT landscape, all the ecosystem, the already existing devices that we have in KNX Twisted Pair and KNX IP, and together with the KNX IoT. The open source stack, this is very interesting. I will show you. KNX IoT devices, I will give you some examples as well. And last but not least, I will talk about the KNX IoT added value. So first of all, let me show you how it looks like, right? So as you said, many of you know KNX, so many of you are familiar with the left side of the slides, right? KNX is a protocol, KNX is a system, KNX is a technology with more than 30 years experience in the market and with already more than 8,000 KNX devices available in the market already. This is a technology that is proven, is working. Many KNX members are big companies. I'm talking about Siemens, ABB, Schneider Electric, and so on, from worldwide, not just Europe. I know KNX is very linked to Europe, but actually this is a worldwide standard. And KNX started with Twisted Pair, okay, almost 30 years ago. And then we moved into KNX radio frequency and also with KNX IP. In the last years, we implemented the secure technology on KNX. So it's proven, it's working, it's secure, and it's fully interoperable. What that means that all the KNX devices we have in the market, manufacturer independent, can work together. This is an existing ecosystem, this is working, and this is what we have now in the market. So with the introduction of KNX IoT, what we do is that we create a new ecosystem. Okay, so we are talking about KNX IoT, Internet of Things, with or over Thread. So Thread is becoming a big player, a big key in this industry for us. So the idea is that we can have two branches to integrate new products, new KNX IoT devices in the already existing KNX IoT, KNX ecosystem, KNX traditional, right? So we can go through the last one, and you can see in the downside, KNX IoT API server. So with this, we can connect all the left side that we have already existing in the building with the right side, okay? We use it with a KNX IoT API, which is fully available for you. You can take a look. And this is also manufacturer independent. This is a big advantage as well, because we don't need to be linked anymore to any manufacturer or any brand or whatever. We have access to all the functionality and all the aspects in the building, okay? And we can also go through KNX IoT devices. And that's why we are here today. With the KNX IoT devices working with Thread, we just implementing a border router, we can connect any KNX IoT device to the already existing KNX ecosystem. Okay, so this is a big impact in the new future for KNX, because we can spread the technology over wireless and also with Thread, right? This is not just in the paper, but also this is a fact. This is a mock-up that we made for the last show in Amsterdam, in Europe, for ISE. As you can see, all the devices are working together. We have in the left side, as I said before, the KNX traditional protocol, the KNX traditional devices, with a border router on the right side, and already existing in the market KNX IoT devices that can communicate over Thread with a border router. This is from ISH in Germany. We also implemented one of the latest novelties from Siemens. This is a Thread, KNX IoT Thread device for, I think it's for humidity or temperature control. So we can monitor everything from the environment and we can put it into the already existing KNX ecosystem. If you scan this QR code, you can get access to the KNX, the first open source stack available is available at GitLab account. It's free of charge, and this is very important. If you are a manufacturer, already existing manufacturer of Thread, you can implement in your border router, you can implement this open source stack, and you can have your device KNX ready. With this, you have access to a huge ecosystem with a huge environment, which is already existing and working with KNX. This is with the implementation of the open source stack. I have to say that we developed a startup incubator that we were launching at ISE in Amsterdam. There are 4 companies presenting products and novelties around KNX IoT. Very interesting, by the way, for example, HVAC controller or some other visualization systems as well. And this is, I'd like to say, this is the way to start working with KNX IoT. So if you'd like to implement this in your new startups or companies, please contact me because I can help you with this. Okay, this is an incubator, and we will help you to do and to develop everything about KNX IoT. We have available a brochure on the left side, and companies like Nordic Semiconductor, that they are already here present at this event, or Cascoda, Siemens, or Passive Energy have already KNX IoT devices in the market. Last but not least, the added value. I'd like to talk about this because this is very important. Once you become part of the KNX ecosystem, you get access to more than 40,000 KNX partners already existing in the market. That means 40,000 people that already know about KNX, and you have access to them. For example, they are system integrators, they are electricians, or they are HVAC experts. So the idea is that you have access to all this existing ecosystem, and they will hear you. They will try to understand you. They want to know about your products. Okay, so the KNX development landscape benefits because it's in favor of economies of scale, more resilient hardware platform, and simplified development approach. The market with KNX IoT benefits because we have more than 30 years backwards compatibility. And as I said before, you are not just a new ecosystem around KNX IoT, but also you have all the existing KNX traditional ecosystem that you can connect with. So both devices, the idea is that both devices can be either in this side or that side can be compatible 100%. Vendor independent tooling, ETS software. As I said before, we have access, you will have access to more than 40,000 KNX installers, KNX partners that are already working with KNX. All of them know the ETS tool. So for them, it's going to be very easy to implement KNX IoT in their projects. And we warranty the best interoperability in the world. We have, as I said before, more than 30 years experience working with different manufacturers from all over the world. And no matter which functionality you are working with, HVAC or lighting control, all of them can work together. So with the implementation of the new KNX IoT, if you develop a sensor or you develop a temperature controller, whatever, it can communicate with the already existing KNX traditional devices. And this is one of the major advantages. We already have a network of KNX training centers around the world as well, where they teach KNX protocol to the new KNX partners. So with this, all the KNX IoT is introduced in this training structure as well. So it's going to be very easy for them to learn. Okay? Right now, I know you've heard about KNX, but let me tell you about some figures as well. We have more than 500 KNX manufacturers already producing KNX devices all over the world. As I said, more than 8,000 devices, KNX devices already available in the market. 23 KNX user clubs, 176 scientific partners like universities, for example, that they are working with KNX as well. More than 24 associated partners, 16 test labs. We have standardized the how can I say, all the procedure to all the certification of the products by means of the KNX test labs that are verified by KNX International Association. So today in the market, we have more than 16 already. And 45 national groups around the world, like KNX USA, that we are here in charge of promoting and helping you and helping companies and partners to get KNX bigger in this country. Okay. So this is what I'd like to tell you. Thank you very much for your attention. And if you'd like to know more about KNX, I will be around here. Thank you so much.
Hello, this video is to show the IoT extension of ETS 6. So on the screen, we see on the left side ETS 6 with the IoT extension here. So I have added 2 devices in the so-called IPv6 line. And the 2 devices that are represented within this line are put on the right side. So we see here on the top, so it's called KNX Virtual Push Button. And on the bottom here, we see KNX Virtual Switching. Both devices here, so these KNX virtual devices, are based on the open source stack, the IoT open source stack from KNX Association. So in this constellation here, so using ETS and those 2 virtual devices here, I can demonstrate this IoT extension. So basically what we need to do is to commission those 2 devices here. So I have set up an ETS a simple configuration. So where so we see here when I select the switching actuator, we see 3 group addresses linked to the to these objects here. So the on-off object, the other on-off object, so channel 2, channel 3, and in the push button I do the same thing. So very basic configuration here. So basically what I want to achieve here is after the commissioning is that these buttons toggle these so the three top buttons, sorry, that they toggle these actuator channels of the switching actuator. Which is, of course, now not the case since these devices are not commissioned yet. So how can we see that? First of all, because of the individual address, both of them set to 000, so not commissioned. Also, the installation identifier is also set to the default value. So basically, these devices are not commissioned. Another way of seeing it is showing listing the group object table, which is in this case empty. Same thing here. Yeah. So let's do whatever is required, which is quite easy. Basically, we need to select the device, select from its context menu the menu item download all. So ETS asks me to press the programming button. This is simulated in the following way. So I select the switching actuator via file. Via the file menu, I can select the menu item programming mode. I select it. This puts device in programming mode. We saw that here very briefly. And in the meantime, the device is already commissioned. So it has now the address 111, which is indeed corresponds with the settings in that are foreseen in ETS 6. Also, the installation identifier is now set, and also the group object table has been set. So accordingly, so the 3 group addresses linked to the 3 objects. Now let's do the same for the push button. So to see it so quickly, because it goes so quickly, the programming mode is now set to 0. I will put it to 1 after initiating again the download procedure. So download all. Press programming button. So again, programming mode is now 0. If I select from the file menu again, programming mode, you will see, it's 1, and it will go back to 0 after the device has been commissioned. So also here, this device is commissioned now, 112, and it has the same installation identifier as the switching actuator. Otherwise, those 2 devices would not be able to communicate with one another. Okay, so also here, let's do a final check. Indeed, there's a group object table here, also accordingly to the ETS configuration. So in practice, I can now use these buttons, and they should toggle then these checkboxes here. So let's see. Which is, okay, this is the case. So you can see clearly the toggling for channel 2 as well. Channel 3, same thing. Also, what we see here at the same time is I have started actually a group monitor. Maybe I'll just clear it so that we have a clean sheet here. And you can see if I toggle, let's say, the second one, you can see that indeed the telegram is coming from the device 112, the push button interface. Indeed, it's using the group address 002 with the value true, and the service is called IoT write, which is indeed the case. So true means it is this actuator channel has been set to If I click again, then it will be false, set to false, which is also indeed the case. Well, that's basically it. So to conclude, I can say that with this video, we demonstrate that ETS is the only vendor-independent configuration tool that can manage all the communication media in home and building automation installations. Now also including IPv6, with interoperability at application level at the core. Thank you very much.
So next up, we have Krzysztof Loska to talk about Nordic's KNX IoT solution. Just to introduce Krzysztof, Loska is from Nordic. He's a technical program manager and also a board member on Thread Group. He sets the strategy, roadmap, and feature definition for products targeted for smart home and smart buildings, such as Thread, Matter, KNX, and Amazon Sidewalk. Krzysztof has spent over a dozen of years in embedded systems and short-range wireless industry and joined Nordic Semiconductor in 2014. Since 2018, Krzysztof serves as a board member, as I mentioned, for the Thread Group, and since 2022 for the Connectivity Standards Alliance. Krzysztof, take it away.
Good morning. I'm happy to announce that Nordic joined KNX Association as a member and supports KNX IoT technology. Today, we have released a GitHub repository, which contains porting of KNX IoT application layer on top of Nordic's NRF Connect SDK using Nordic's multi-award-winning system on chips. This enables developers to evaluate the technology, to build prototypes. This is fully open for anyone. There is no registration process, nothing. You just go to GitHub. You just need a Nordic development kit. All tools are also open. So we believe this is like a very easy and straightforward way to evaluate this technology. Asad has some mentions about history, about dot and Zigbee and Matter. I also have some reflections on that. When Nordic began collaborating with Google in 2016 on implementation of OpenThread Stack and porting of the WIF application layer, we didn't anticipate how many other technologies would decide to use Thread. But then in 2019, Apple decided to extend HomeKit by adding option of Thread. So we collaborated together to provide a production solution in 2020. And in meantime, several major ecosystem providers and other companies decided to converge and work on Matter as a common solution for smart home. And then we, of course, also joined this effort and provided a working solution last year. Now we are adding KNX IoT, and we believe that this is a complementary solution. There is, of course, some overlap, but technologies like HomeKit or Matter mainly focus on do-it-yourself smart home solutions, while KNX IoT is fully focused on a professional market where setup is done by a professional installer. But all of those technologies, all of those choices just prove how versatile Thread technology is. And and good choices which were made by Thread community. Because Thread as a application layer agnostic solution can support many IP application layers, and this vision realized, and this is what we see today. This also enables semiconductor vendors as Nordic to reuse the expertise we gained in all of those years. To support KNX IoT, we didn't have to release new system on chips. We didn't have to create a lot of new software. We could gain on our expertise. We could gain on our expertise. We achieved with with providing other technologies based on Thread. So here, just outside of this room, we have a fully functional demo of KNX IoT working on Nordic chips. On the right side, you see the wireless part, which is based on Thingy 53 Nordic prototyping platform. So we have two devices, one working as a light switch, one working as a light bulb. And this is all connected through the border router to the wired KNX network. And proves this technology. So this works both ways, from the wireless side to the wired, from wired to the wireless. And I would like to thank to Siemens, who shared with us a proof of concept of KNX IoT router, which was a necessary part to make it work. But with this joint collaboration, we are able to prove another technology working on top of Thread. Thank you.